Hello, I'm Jude and I'm working with Grow Wrexham. Now we're going to take a look at station sowing. This is putting things ready to go into the station where they're going to grow. They are for seeds which are big enough for you to count individually. So things like beans and sweet corn and pumpkin. If you can see the seed, it needs to have a pot of its own. You cannot get away with just sprinkling them into a tray. So what I would do is pick up handfuls of my sifted growing medium. And I'm not pushing that down hard, I'm just making sure it's in firmly. So the three kinds of seeds that we're working with today are what are called the Three Sisters. This is a South American way of growing vegetables, which means that you don't have to buy tall canes to support beans. So the Three Sisters are sweet corn. Sweet corn or maize grows big and strong. It comes up about as tall as me and it's quite sturdy in the ground. It's got shallow roots, so it doesn't like being weeded very close to you. Just be careful when it's in the ground that you don't weed too tight to it. This is what's called an F1 hybrid, which means that when it's been bred, you will not be able to save seeds from your corn to plant them again the following year. So all of the seeds in here can be used this year and next year, but you can't save your own seed. The second sister in the three is a bean. A runner bean, pole bean, climbing bean, French bean, call it what you like. Some of them are purple, and what a shame they don't stay purple when you've cooked them and put them on the plate. So I just do a label for them that says FB purple, French bean purple. And what these do is they use the corn as support and they will wind their way up the corn. You might find they get a bit leggy at the top, but you can just pinch them out. The third sister in the sisters group is a squash, a pumpkin or a courgette. It likes lots of water, it grows low on the ground, but it's got big leaves. And those big leaves are going to spread out across the ground and they're going to shade the roots. What it's doing is it's keeping the weeds down, it's suppressing the weeds. You don't want to be weeding in and out around your sweet corn and your beans very often. So these are very useful. However, some of them, like courgette, have got hairs on the leaves. Don't plant it too close to a path, because if you're going past or children are going past, it can be quite scratchy and unfriendly. Okay, so the only trick that you need on a pumpkin, pumpkins are huge, pumpkins, is you plant them on their side and they're going into a pot on their edge. And they're going in about a centimetre deep, which is about the depth of my first joint on my finger. Push it down in, cover it with soil, that's your pumpkin. Please be careful if you have a courgette plant, you probably don't need to plant more than 1 or 2 courgette plants. You will have more courgettes than you know how to eat, and you'll end up making courgette cake, which is wonderful. Okay, a bean. I'm going to put a bean into one of these. So I'm going to do FB purple into this one. Now this one may be a little bit deeper. I'm only going to put 1 in. Some people put 2, and if you plant them straight out into the garden, you usually put 2 in every station, and then you pull out the weakest one. So this one now, a little bit deeper. I'm going to poke my finger down in there. I could use the point of a pencil, anything, pop the bean in and cover it with a tiny bit more soil until it's up to the top of the tube. Okay, there's your bean. And finally, sweet corn, you can start it indoors, March, April and May. It can only go outdoors in May. If you put these outdoors now, they will just give up. So I'm going to pick just one again and into my third one, and sweet corn goes in fingernail deep into there, little bit of soil on top. There we go, all labelled and ready for watering. So the final thing I would do is put a cover over those, and to water them I would just set them and water. Again, you can keep them warm. Keep an eye on them. The cardboard becomes really soggy, so remember, don't try and pick up the cardboard tubes until you know that the plant is working well. So I would just water that, keep it well soaked, and then keep an eye on it for a while. So there we go. That's my 3 sisters and how to plant them.